Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Social Media Decoded podcast, the number one podcast to help you understand social media better so that you grow your business, get more clients, and monetize. Today, I'm excited because I have a special guest. You all know that I love when we have special guests. We are going to be talking about Amanda, and today we're going to be switching it up a little bit, okay? We're going to be talking about our holistic health, our mental health, and social media, right? Because it goes hand in hand. And what if you're a business owner that doesn't necessarily love social media or know how to utilize it and you want to hire some team members? We're going to talk to Amanda about that today. And so, Amanda, thank you so much. I am so excited to have you today on the podcast. How are you today?
Hi, Michelle. I'm great. Thanks so much for having me. This is going to be fun.
Yes, it's going to be so much fun. So, let us know, introduce yourself. Where are you from? How did you get started with your business? And what is your business all about?
Yeah, thank you. So my name's Amanda Hinman. I'm the founder and owner of Hinman Holistic Health, which is a functional medicine health consulting company where we specialize in helping women primarily in their 40s, 50s, 60s with thyroid and hormone imbalance so that they can feel their best. I'm super passionate about empowering women to know how to support their body so that they can have more energy, like you said, more mental clarity, show up as their most confident, fullest version of themselves for all areas of life.
Yeah. So, is your business mainly online?
100% virtual. Yes. Health consulting. Yes.
And so your background. So is your background also in healthcare?
Yeah, so my background is actually in functional medicine science. So I actually am, I believe it or not, I feel like this path kind of divinely chose me. I had always been in the world of fitness and nutrition for several years. And then many years ago, I have four daughters. My oldest daughter had become really anxious. In fact, she had such extreme anxiety that she was experiencing anywhere from 10 to 15 seizures in a day. And that happened at a time our whole family kind of imploded health wise. I had been recently diagnosed with an autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. My daughter's anxiety progressed to the point where she was having daily seizures. My husband was having panic attacks. Like literally, when I say our whole family was kind of thrown upside down from a health perspective, we were in a place of, you know, living day by day and trying to figure out how to just make it through another day, especially for my daughter's health situation. And that was when I went back to school to deepen my knowledge beyond nutrition, beyond fitness, and get into the functional medicine science world, because that's all about discovering the root cause of imbalance in the body. And I knew, we were told by amazing pediatric neurologists that she would be on medication for life. She was taking 8 pills a day. She would never be able to drive a car. And every part in my mom, protective being was like, that can't be her future. That can't be her reality. We have to find her a way to help heal and to balance. And that was the journey through, again, discovering the root cause, really learning how hormones and neurotransmitter and all of our energy systems in the body are related, and then making step-by-step changes, which massively changed our whole family. Like, she weaned off of all of her medication. In 9 months' time, I was able to come off of my thyroid medication and put the autoimmune condition in remission. My husband's panic attacks stopped. So we've lived firsthand the power of really flipping your health on its head, like 180 degrees, and knowing that true healing and transformation is absolutely possible. So that was like my passion of why I'm so deeply connected to helping other women discover what's possible for them to feel their best and understand how to take control of their health.
Oh, wow. That is an amazing story. And it just speaks to how everyone's path is different, right? And you've worked in the field, you've done all these things. And so now you get to utilize the skills that you already had to create, not only help your family, but also create a business around it. So I love this because I always tell everyone you can make money doing what you love, whatever it is that you're passionate about. And this story was very passionate. So I can definitely tell that you are passionate about helping other women. You've done it for yourself. You've done it for your family. That's miraculous to be able to tap into holistic health and not have to take medication. That is amazing. And so I am so grateful for what you are doing. You're helping other women. That is so amazing. And again, back to saying you can make money, you can build a career doing what you love with the skills that you already possess, even if you worked a 9 to 5, right? I
Right.
utilize the healthcare skills that I had in my 9 to 5. It may not necessarily, I may not necessarily work in healthcare, but I could have a client in healthcare. And now I know like the lingo, I know everything, but now I can come from a marketing angle or my skills as organization, right? We were very organized. You have to be organized working in healthcare. And now I just took that into my own online business. So transferable skills that we all have.
That's
Such a
what it
great
is.
story.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think so much of it is that, like you said, it's the heart and the passion. When you really are connected to the work that you're doing, like that's just magnetic. It draws people in and wanting to learn more and wanting to be a part of that if they're share a same interest and the same, desire.
Yes, I love it. And let's talk about that because I love social media, hence the Social Media Decoded podcast. I love all things digital,
Mhm.
making money online, being a blogger, influencer, all these things, right? And I realized that a lot of people may not know a lot about this. This is why I create the podcast, and or they may not know like how to or they don't possess those skills. So I
Mhm.
know we talked earlier in the pre-show about, those business owners who may have a business like you, online business, whatever it is, it can be fitness, health, whatever, but they're like, okay, now I know I have to market this business, right? I know that I do what I do, I can go to these networking events, I can, be a part of masterminds or whatever to network, but I also know that I need to be on social media, but it's just not my thing. So we talked about hiring. So what advice do you have for those business owners who may be thinking about, okay, I need someone to help me with the marketing? Like, how did you set that up? Like, did you come up with the plan first? Like, okay, this is what I want. Can you
Mhm.
help me achieve this?
Yeah, great question, Michelle. So I think the first thing is hiring is absolutely something that can be a huge help to help, especially with, because one of the things with social media is the consistency, right? People are looking for you to consistently be showing up, sharing values. It's kind of like how they get to know you and trust you and see what you're all about to kind of vet you, if you will. So it's important that you have that consistency and having somebody who can help to do some of the posting, some of the whether it's creating graphics or pulling together content and things like that. Like I have a social media manager who helps to pull together things for my stories on Facebook and Instagram and put together posts and just share different resources when I'm sharing blog tips or when I'm on a podcast or different things like that. They're, putting it out there for other people to be able to get the value and to learn more about our work. And I think it's super helpful to hire support. One thing I will say is important before you take that step is to have clarity in your messaging, to really know what it is that what value you're sharing, what, audience is an ideal fit for the work that you do, for the type of mission that you have, and being succinct and clear in what it is that you're communicating. Because again, it's repetition, but having that clarity up front helps you to build together a game plan. And my marketing manager is really great. Like we'll kind of take it like a month at a time and kind of, batch out what are different topics that we want to focus on each week and what are different kind of to rotate through different topics on hormone health and optimizing your cellular energy and your gut health and things like that. So I absolutely think having somebody to support you and to work with is a huge help. The first piece, though, is getting your messaging and your audience clear.
Yes, I love all of that. And yes, it is okay to hire a marketing help if this is not your area of expertise. I know a lot of entrepreneurs, we want to do it ourselves. While I do think that it's great, like you start off, you can do it yourself. But at a point, it gets to where it's too much. Like even me, myself, the queen of marketing, like and all the things I know how to do, I'm like, well, this is a bit overwhelming. I
Mhm.
need someone to help at least look at these emails or help me with some email templates or help me with some ideas for what I'm going to post on social media, or I have a launch coming up. I need, someone to make sure it all comes together. Whatever that is for you, don't be afraid to ask for help, especially when it comes to social media. This is why, this podcast exists. This is why I help people with marketing and things like that. And just like you say, you can hire a professional that can help you get to the next level. So, and the number one thing that you said was knowing and being clear, because you want to attract your right clients, right? And I would imagine that your marketing manager knows like what your voice is and can be able to help you attract those right people.
Exactly, exactly. And I will say one thing I want to just chime in there, Michelle, because I've, my business has grown over the years, and at each new level, it's always scary to invest, right? To put up the money up front to hire and pay someone, or invest in a program that's going to help you. And every single time I've done it, I've seen that plus way more in return. So it's really taking that mindset of this truly is an investment rather than a cost or an expense. Because like I said, it was, coming up on 3 years when I brought in my marketing manager, and every year our business has grown because she's able to help get more visibility out there. If when I'm busy working with clients, I can't also be putting together all of the marketing materials that she can do. So it's sometimes it's a scary step at first, but it's just, trusting and taking that jump that getting support is going to be a win-win-win.
I love it. I love it. So I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about mental health, because I think that is important. And I also think it's important when it comes to social media. So internal and mental health, they can't exist without one another. So let's talk about how you optimize your energy, your mental clarity to show up every day so that you can maximize your business, right? And so that you can keep getting out here to get more clients, so that you can keep, being able to help so many people.
Yes, well, I have two things. I have two things I thought about when you were thinking about this question with regards to there's many practices that we do and that we know about with regards to supporting our health, but two things in particular. First is what I call your morning minutes. And that can even be, it doesn't need to be a tremendous amount of time, but even the first 10 minutes of your day is so critical to kind of set the tempo and set the pace for what the rest of your day mentally is going to be like. And I'll explain this a little bit, kind of get into a little bit of the hormone science here. But when we think about our hormones, everything starts, there's this HPATG axis of interconnection. H stands for hypothalamus, which is an organ in the brain. P stands for pituitary, which is also a gland located in the brain. The A is for the adrenals, that we know kind of control our stress response, right? If we're in that fight or flight response, or if we're in that rest, digest, parasympathetic response. The thyroid, which is really responsible for metabolism and energy utilization. And then G is for gonads, like the ovaries and your sex hormone balance. But they're all connected. They don't work in isolation in the body. But notice how the very first thing I said was H for hypothalamus. And that is because every single day, every single minute, our body is taking cues about the status of our world from our thoughts, from our hypothalamus. Our hypothalamus is interpreting our experiences, what we see, what we taste, what we touch, what we smell, and giving meaning to it. So the summary is like literally our body's response hormonally is like driven 90% by what we think and 10% by how we respond to it after that. But so I say that because in the first 10 minutes of your day in the morning, if you have a very conscious practice of whether it be just kind of having quiet time, waking up in an easeful, relaxed place, maybe doing some gratitude journaling or prayer or meditation or whatever it is to kind of help you feel grounded and centered, that gives a powerful message to your hypothalamus that, hey, this world is A-okay. We live in a safe, abundant place. So we can kind of just wind up and have fun today. But if you wake up in a place of overwhelm, in a place of rushing, in a place of, fear or frustration, immediately that sends a message to your hypothalamus that, whoa, this world we live in is not safe. We need to be on high alert. And it puts a whole different cascade of hormone dynamics in your body, which is going to set yourself up for chronic stress. right? That inhibits mental clarity. It inhibits good thyroid action and metabolism. It makes us gain weight because our body perceives that we're in stress. We have to preserve and hold on to fat, right? So all these things happen based on that very first cue about the status of your world in the morning.
I love that. And you're so spot on about having a morning routine. All business owners, I hope you took note of what Amanda said, because you wake up, and I'm not gonna sit here on this podcast and lie like I hadn't waken up and just went straight to my phone. It is horrible to do that. And you have to break that habit. We want to wake up, and now I wake up, okay, thank you, I'm here. Because that's the first thing. When I open my eyes every morning, I'm like, whoo, made it to another day.
Yeah.
It's like so exciting. Like, so when I wake up, my eyes open, I am like excited, because we have to all realize too, every day's not promised. So when I wake up, I'm like, I'm excited. And then I started to stretch, because I'm 36. That's older, getting 40s. We got to stretch. I'm stretching.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me stretch my knees, my back. I want to stretch, make sure I'm flexible and all the things, because I'm really not. So I'm adding that. Then, like you said, gratitude journaling. I want to, say, hey, this is what I want my day to look like. I want to finish these tasks and do it. I think that as business owners, we can get so overwhelmed with all the things we have to do, social media, marketing included, that we forget that our day starts with a really good routine. But this is all, like you said, based on science. Our brains want to feel great in the morning, and then we're going to continue to have a great day. So
Exactly.
Everything you said was on point. I hope everyone has taken notes, because Amanda just gave us a master class about how we can better our day, how we can be better business owners, how we can balance it all and have more energy during the day. Right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I love that. So I want to ask about books. I'm a reader. I believe readers are leaders, and I believe that as business owners, we should always be learning more, right? So are there any books or resources that helped you shape your business vision as you were building your business? Any books that have really helped you along your journey?
For business vision, absolutely, the tons of books. But one of the first ones that comes to mind is one that I've reread recently, and it is Who, Not How by Dan Sullivan. So it's really, again, it kind of goes back to the conversation we were talking about earlier, Michelle, is it really allows you the invitation to, when you feel yourself getting stuck or procrastinating or not making progress on a business project in the way that you would hope. Usually we tend to beat ourselves up. And we think like, oh, what's wrong with me? I don't have enough willpower, or I'm not doing it the right way, or, if I just need to kick my butt into gear. And his invitation is to consider a different perspective. What if that procrastination is actually just a signal that you need to find a different who? It's not you that's supposed to know how to do it. So the question is, who knows how to do this, rather than assuming you need to do it all, right? So sometimes the who is somebody who can actually execute on that for you. Sometimes the who is, who else has done this before that I can have a conversation with, right? But it gets you thinking. Whenever you find yourself stuck, start to ask the question is, who would be a great person to connect with about this? Or who could be somebody who can help me with this? And that all of a sudden puts you back into momentum and puts you into forward movement.
I love that. And I love this other book by Dan Sullivan, the Gap in the Game. So these are the great books. That's a great book. I have that on my Audible. My Audible wish list. So that's next. I have like 9 credits, you guys. Everyone listening, I have like 9 credits in my Audible. I'm reading, but right now I'm finishing The Gap in the Game, and it's such a great book. But that is such a great point, right? Who can do it for me? Or who do I need to talk to that's done this before? Just like we talked before this about podcasting, right? Who has done that? Maybe you were stuck, and I might have gave you sparked some new ideas to help you just get started. So it's just thinking about getting there, right? Thinking about somebody can help you get there. It doesn't have to be you. It can be someone to help you. So I love it. I love the book recommendations.
Yeah.
So this has been such a great episode. I think that we really touched on a lot about our mental health and how we can, have a great morning, have great routines, but also our health is important. No matter what type of business you have, your health is important, and being able to just tap into what can help you be more consistent with that as well. So you have shared such a wealth of knowledge here, and I appreciate you for coming on and even also sharing about hiring, helping, getting
Yeah.
someone to help you with your social media. We don't have to do this all. So that is, I'm so glad that you brought that perspective for those business owners that may be thinking, I can't do this all by myself. Amanda has giving you a blueprint and a foundation that it can work if you hire other people. And yes, it's scary, but it's going to help you in the long run. So thank you for
Well, and
that.
I think those two things go hand in hand, right? It's being willing to ask for help. It's all of the things. It's who can help me with this, and maybe it's somebody to hire you, help you with social media, or who can take some things off my plate so that I can have healthy habits and maintain that energy and vitality for the long term, right? Because like you said, being able to show up consistently on social media requires that you feel good and feel confident in your own body and have the energy and the focus. All of these things are linked together.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, could you let everyone know where we can find you online? And if someone wants to work with your company, how can they do that? How can they find out more information?
Sure, my pleasure. So our website is hinmanholistic.com. And Michelle, I'm happy to share any resources. We have a free hormone health assessment that you can check out to kind of see where your health is and if there's any areas that perhaps could use a little bit of optimization. And another one is 3 steps to decrease bloating in 5 days. That's always a really popular one because especially after holidays, if you're feeling a little just bloated and uncomfortable, to get that confidence back so you can be out there sharing your message, you can definitely check that out at hinmanholistic.com.
Yes, no, I need to check that out. Definitely thank you for sharing those amazing resources. We will have that in the show notes as well. But thank you so much, Amanda, for sharing all this knowledge today. It was greatly appreciated. And I hope everyone was taking notes because, as always, there's gems dropped on the Social Media Decoded podcast. Thank you so much, Amanda.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.